We turn now to a new ABC News Washington Post poll out today showing a dramatic plunge in President Biden's approval rating. It's down to 44%, with 51% of Americans disapproving of his job performance. Here to discuss that poll is ABC Political Director Rick Klein. Rick, good to see you.
Hey, Phil. Good to be with you.
President Biden came into office with 67% approval for his handling of the transition. Now it's down to 44%. Loaded question for you, but what happened?
Life happened, world events happened, but more specifically, what we can tell from this polling data, Afghanistan happened. Specifically, President Biden's decision to go ahead with the troop withdrawal. It led to a calamitous loss of life, a dreadful several weeks of news. That on top of the tough news around the Delta variant, maybe the sluggish economy as well, has all contributed to a summer swoon for President Biden that's really historic in its proportions. Now only 44% of Americans say they approve of the job he's done as president. We've seen independents who decided the election for him ultimately dropping their support by 9 points, men by 10 points, and in a real sense that there's a disappointment in how President Biden has handled specifically Afghanistan and the news of the last couple of weeks.
We got another alarming and really sad part of the poll. Just 36% of Americans say the war in Afghanistan was worth fighting. That's, of course, after thousands of American deaths, $2 trillion spent over 20 years. What else did we learn about attitudes toward the war and the U.S. withdrawal led by President Biden?
Yeah, it's so interesting because we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, which, of course, led to that Afghanistan war, America's longest war. Americans broadly and overwhelmingly wanted that war to end. Where they took issue with President Biden was how that withdrawal happened, specifically a widespread blame for the loss of life, the death of 13 Americans a little more than a week ago, and, of course, that ultimate decision to leave all U.S. troops, even though there are Americans that are still left behind, to get that full troop withdrawal. That's where Americans took issue. And it's intriguing to me also because you see some compassion in these numbers as well. Also wide support for making sure if you are able to vet Afghans who help the U.S. appropriately, give them refuge here. That's become a Republican talking point, and that's an area actually where President Biden seems to still have the support of the public. But generally, a lot of folks just really upset with how the end stages of this war were handled.
You always have some great historical data for us, so put President Biden's approval rating into perspective for us, because we track this for all presidents. Is this typical?
No, honeymoons tend to last a good bit longer than this. Going back to polling really since the end of World War II, the Truman administration, there's only two presidents that have approval ratings at this point in the presidency that were lower. One is Gerald Ford, who took office, of course, under unusual circumstances after the resignation of Richard Nixon, and the other, President Trump, who was one of the most polarizing presidents in modern or any time. Both of them had approval ratings somewhere in the 30s. So it's generally the case that a president is able to maintain some popularity through this point of the presidency, through the summer of that first year. Also notable is that President Biden's had among the most stable approval rating of any president in modern times. He's always hovering somewhere there in the low to mid 50s. That appears to have evaporated through this very difficult summer, particularly because of Afghanistan. So it's a tough road ahead for President Biden, and he doesn't appear to have the same level of public support that he did early on.
All right, we'll be watching. Rick Klein, thanks so much.
Thank you, Phil.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.